Yesterday's watch review today, part 2. I wanted to do a follow-up addendum. Now, yesterday's watch review today that I did yesterday was on the Raven Venture. Now, I'm not a Rolexologist or a Tudorologist. I really am. I'm mostly a Seiko guy. I did note that there was a similarity in the dial to this, but some people on the video have commented, "Oh, it's an homage watch." And I would, that's an opinion, and that's fine. And my opinion actually would be different than that. This does not strike me as an homage watch. It takes some hints from it, certainly. I mean, you have the dial and the hour hand, certainly, sort of are like that. But from what I've seen of what he does, he takes hints of this other designs, and he puts them together in novel ways. There's no watch that I'm truly aware of that is, created whole cloth out of thin air with no reference to anything else. I mean, there are a lot of true homage watches being sold right now. Your Steinhardts are basically the only thing that's different between, the Steinhardt design and Rolex is that it says Steinhardt instead of Rolex. They really are pretty slavish about how they've gone ahead and made copies of that kind of stuff. So the Raven definitely, I mean, I did some research after putting up the video. The Raven definitely takes some hints from the Ranger. It's the Ranger's 41 millimeters. It has a very similar dial. The hour hand is sort of similar as well. The minute hand is different. The sweep hand is different. The Ranger has a different style case. It has a lighter case, not this sort of heavier, more sturdily built case. And of course, it doesn't have a dive bezel, which is kind of a big thing. I don't really wear dress watches, so if I had a Ranger on the table next to me and this, they would look fundamentally like different watches. And his hand treatment, even though they are similar in shape, the way he does his hands, I think, is, sorry, I'm trying to get this off, is different. The hand surfaces are all white, which makes them appear larger. In his Trekker, he uses a handset that is very similar to a 6105 handset, but in the same way, they're completely white side to side. So it has the same kind of shape and the same kind of lume windows, but it's it's a reinterpretation. So he's sort of playing a riff on this other design, and because he's using he went a new different way, and the whole of it's more than the sum of its parts, and it's an enjoyable watch. And again, for me, the real kicker is the quality of its production. I mean, it's beautiful quality. And I mean, I guess if I wanted to, if I was okay for wearing a dress watch, I could go out and I could buy the reissue of the Tudor. I mean, they're available. And what's interesting is that they have the exact same movement inside, 2824. So it's the same basic movement, and for me, it's got the addition of the rotating ring, which is great. It also has 300 meters of resistance, whereas the Tudor's only 150 meters. Not that I'm going to be diving to even 1 meter anytime soon. My diving days in the ocean are long, long, long behind me. One close call too many. That's the end of it. But in any case, there were just a number of people. I think I sort of touched a nerve with my last video, because there were a number of people who were sort of not happy about it. But I would suggest that the word homage is not correct. Maybe it's sort of riff on an earlier design, but it's a reinterpretation. But in the end, the sum is greater than the parts, and it is its own thing. So I have to tell you, I've been wearing this watch since I did the video yesterday, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm still really pleased with it. I judge a watch, in a lot of ways, I'll judge it by its, not just its movement, though a lot of it's its movement, but it's just the overall quality and the thought that went into it. And this thing just oozes quality. It feels great, this wonderful silky finish. It's really comfortable. I love that it's got the pierced lugs here. It's got another touch that I never really thought about. The lume is blue, it's not green. I'm used to green, that's really the Seiko thing. And the vast majority of looms these days are, in fact, green. Blue I associate with Citizen. Citizen is really kind of the blue thing. But this is just it's so lovely. And I'm just so pleased with the watch. I mean, everything about it. And yes, it takes some elements from, you know, from other designs, but you know, those designs are popular for a reason, because they're legible and they're clean. Like, I didn't understand the whole appeal of the Rolex Explorer until I got one. And then I looked at it, and when I was wearing it and when I had it, I was like, this is a really transient, like temporally transient design. Like, it exceeds the period in which it was made. It's classically beautiful. It's a wonderful watch. A little small for me, but I fully admit that it's such a beautiful, beautiful watch. You know, there are just some things that are you know, wonderful, you know, design cues. And yes, he's definitely put some of those in, but he's created it to be his own thing. So again, I just wanted to say that, in my own words, I don't consider this an homage. It's not a slavish one-to-one copy of anything. It's a riff on known designs with some added elements and its own overall look, and I just think it's magnificent. So I just wanted to come out there and really say that. I really don't have anything else to say. This is, I guess, sort of counts as sort of my Friday video. Another busy week, another crazy busy week. So much to do, but moving ahead of stuff and getting things done and all kinds of challenges. I don't really have anything sort of fun to talk about. I really don't. I don't know. I spent a lot of my downtime this week trying to do this. I have been trying to repair this 0634-5019 TV dial watch. I have two. I have one that's new old stock, and then I have this one, and it had a dead module, and so I don't normally work on LCDs so much, but I've really been trying to get this going, and I had 3 different modules and glasses and everything else like that, and so I've been working to try to build one complete watch that works, and each module had problems, and this one also does have one small problem. I finally got to the point. I was dealing with one module that was smashed, sort of. Somebody put a battery in that was too big and they kind of flexed something. Another one that was had a battery leak, and then this one was in a watch that just had gotten a lot of wear, and it looked like it was going to be good, and it fired pretty much right up. The LCD glass was bad, but I was able to, it worked. The only thing that's annoying is that the D4 segment is constantly lit. That is the top, the 4 here, that segment is always lit. And now you would never notice it except when the time is between 50 minutes and 59 minutes, because that segment turns the 5 into a 9. And so instead of being 550, it's 590, and then 591, and then 592. I can't figure out why that segment's always powered. I've looked for everything else, but I got everything else to work. It was magnificent. I've been doing all this swapping and moving stuff back and forth, short of like desoldering the CMOS and switching it with another one. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it is really cool. I love bringing watches back to life. And this one's got some wear, June 1976. And it's certainly wearable, as long as you know that, you know, it's perfectly okay that it's, you know, 5:90 p.m. or whatever the heck it is. Pongo is yelling and screaming up above, and they're yelling at Pongo, and that's how it goes. Another thing I'm going to do, which is going to be fun, is I'm going to go through and service this watch, Omega Seamaster, and that should be fun. I'm going to do that here in a little bit, and we'll talk about what's going on inside the Omega Seamaster. It's I believe this is a 565 movement in here. Talk about lovely. Crazy with Omega is their movements are so exquisite, but their exteriors are so conservative, and so you hide the jewel that's inside this watch, inside the, you know, this lovely little piece. Anyway, so that'll be fun, and we'll do that on a later date. And I think that's really about it. And I want to thank you all for watching, and for putting up with my lack of knowledge when it comes to brands outside of my wheelhouse, like Rolex and Tudor and things like that, or, you know, whatever the watch was that the Avant was based on. I had no idea. I just like the look of it. If they based it on that design one-to-one slavishly, that would have been a pretty cool watch, but they decided to get fancy with it, and as a result, they jacked up the way that it should have looked, and all the proportions are thrown off. But whatever, that's it. Hey, have a good weekend, and thanks for watching, and it's going to be fun. Okay, and we'll talk to you the coming week. Bye-bye.